Have you ever felt like you had to hide how smart you are to make everyone else more comfortable? Maybe you toned down your vocabulary in a group conversation, or laughed at something that didn't even register a smirk just so you would not stand out too much. We often dim our own light, not out of humility, but from the fear of being too much for a world that prefers small talk over deep thought. If that resonates with you, then you're in the right place. This is not just about intelligence. It's about self-respect, about reclaiming the power of your mind without apology. If this message speaks to your soul, gently tap the like button, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Stoic Wisdom so we can continue this quiet but powerful journey together. Part 1. The fear behind our silence. A friend of mine once said something that stayed with me. The smartest people I know are often the quietest in the room, not because they have nothing to say, but because they've been misunderstood too many times. We often silence ourselves, not out of strength, but out of fear of judgment, fear of being labeled, fear of rejection. So we shrink, we hold back, we pretend we are just average. But Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And it's true. Most of the punishment we inflict on ourselves comes from imagined reactions that never even happen. Think about how many times you wanted to speak your mind, share an idea, express a truth, but you stopped yourself. You chose silence, not because it was the wise thing to do, but because it felt safer. But safety is not always strength. True strength is not just knowing when to be silent, it's also knowing when silence becomes your cage. Speak when your words carry weight. And when you choose silence, let it be your armor, not your hiding place. Part 2. The quiet apology of knowing too much. This subtle way many of us apologize for being smart. We hold back our insights. We soften our tone. We act like we didn't already know the answer, all just to avoid making someone else feel insecure. That's not humility. That's self-betrayal. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire and still kept his journal like a student of life, said, "Just do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." And the right thing is not pretending to be smaller than you are. It's stepping into your full light. Even if that light unsettles others, your intelligence is not a threat unless you use it with arrogance. But used with intention, it becomes healing, a form of quiet leadership in a noisy world. So do not apologize for being prepared. Do not hide your clarity. Hone it, not loudly, but completely. Like a lighthouse doesn't shout, but it never dims. Part 3. The loneliness of clarity. You've ever felt a strange loneliness in the middle of a crowded room? You're not alone. The more you grow, the more isolated you may feel, not because others dislike you, but because your path no longer looks familiar to them. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." That quote used to puzzle me until I realized it means growth often separates us from the crowd. And the higher you rise, the fewer people can breathe at that altitude. There's nothing wrong with being the one who thinks differently, who questions the obvious, who lives with quiet intention. Yes, it might make you feel like an outsider, but being different is not the problem. Pretending you're not, that's where the suffering begins. Your thoughts are sharp because you earned that sharpness. Don't round the edges just to be more palatable. Some people won't understand you. That's okay. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to live in truth. Part 4. Shrinking ambitions to fit in. Let me tell you something about ambition. It's not loud. It's not boastful, but it burns quietly and deeply, and it often scares people who gave up on their own dreams. So what do? We water down our goals. We smile politely when someone tells us, "Maybe you're aiming too high." We laugh off our passion like it's just a hobby. But Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." If your dreams make others uncomfortable, that's a sign you're dreaming big enough. Never hide your hunger. Never apologize for having vision. When you suppress your ambition to make others feel better, you do both of you a disservice. The world does not need another polite version of you. It needs the full, fiery, focused version of you, the one who walks with purpose, even when the path is lonely. Ending. Any part of this message stirred something in you. Do not ignore it. That discomfort you feel is not weakness. It's the beginning of your return to self. You are not born to play small. You are not built to blend in. Your silence is powerful, but only when it's a choice, not a surrender. So speak your truth, walk your path. And when you feel alone, remember, the mountaintop is not crowded for a reason. If this message sat with you in some way, consider joining me here again. Like, share, or subscribe to the Stoic Wisdom channel if your heart feels called. If you have a topic you'd love to hear more about, drop it in the comments. I'm always listening. Until next time, stay steady, and stay you.